Doesn't this thing look sweet? That body. Oh my god. So I was debating about buying the Kagama, but the body wasn't that good looking. But this one, yeah, I had to get it because it looks real good. And I asked you guys what color you want me to buy, and red is faster, so they say. And there are lots of reviews going on in YouTube land. So I'm not going to review the complete truck. Everybody has seen the video. I'm going to do different things. There was problems, these things coming loose, but they're the same as the Synchro 4 and they don't come loose. I think it's rather strange. Maybe it's a bad batch. Maybe the droop isn't set real good. I'm going to check that. I'm going to put some shrink wrap on there. I'm going to put another pinion on there. I also want to change the receiver because I don't like this thing. The reason why I don't like it, that's my opinion of course, there's no camera mount or nothing. And when you put it down like this, it falls over. I don't like that. I have a radio link. It's like, plus I have a camera mount on there. It's easier to film. And I like this a lot more than this thing. I'm not saying this is bad. This is not my thing. Each to his own, of course. If you like this, by all means, it will perform real good. I'm sure of that. This comes in a box. We all know that. Everybody has seen that. These things, these rubber grommets, you loosen them once and second time they're gone. Throw them away and use these little tiny clips that you get from Chinese brands. You can plug them in like that and it sits in there also good. Easy, and you can pull it out like this with no problem. We're going to put the 7.4 volts on the servo. Pull the fan out. Push this plug in over here like that. Put it from the ground because you never know what's going to happen. Program card, battery. Put the transmitter on. Push the button. Now you can see the simplest card from Hobbywing. And take this. 1 is forward to reverse brake. 2 lipo cells. So we go to item 2 lipo cell auto calculation. Cutoff voltage is auto. 3 on 3. ESC thermal protection. 4 on 1. 105 degrees or 221 Fahrenheit. Thermal protection is on 2, 105, motor or 200, it's the same. Motor rotation, we're going to let that sit on 6, 1. BEC voltage, that's it. That's now on 6 volt. We're going to up that to 2 and then press OK. 7 is on 2, 7 is now on 7.4. Brake force 75%, we're going to let that sit. Reverse 50% and start punch is on level 3 and we're going to let that sit there too because I don't want to up it like this. I can do it afterwards. Drag brake is on, let's see, 8 is on 6, 9 is on 2, 10 is on level 3 and 11 is on 1. So we don't have any drag brake. So put it off, pull this thing out. Now we have 7.4 on the steering, so that's good. Don't forget to put the fan back in. I had that happen several times, so. I'm going to check the tires, if there are holes in the rims or not. There is a hole over there, and we're going to close it with some duct tape. And then it's going to look like this. And I don't know, these are firm tires. I don't know, maybe running it a couple of times, make them a little softer. If not, I'm going to vent these. I'm debating on that thing here, so we'll see. I'm not going to put a fan on there immediately. I'm going to check the temperatures when I'm driving. It's pretty stiff at the moment, but it's cold now because I'm filming this in the evening. And now at the moment it's like 5 or 6 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty cold. Drivetrain looks good, everything looks good. Is it wet over here? It's a little bit moist, but that's normal with shipment and everything. And the car has been sitting here for a couple of days in my shed. I'm going to also stiffen it up because, oh man, you gotta see it. This looks sweet. And the red is like a metallic look. I hope you can see it in the color. I like it. I like it a lot. This pin cannot be removed without losing this. Corelli should have thought about that. I think it's a little design flaw. You can also grind some piece away over here, but then this thing isn't that strong anymore. This thing is pretty beefy made, but like I said, if this was a little bit longer, then we had no problems pulling this pin out. So we're going to remove the complete mount over here. Oops, guys, we have problems. I'm going to take the power off the camera and I'm going to try and loosen these things. And then I'm going to show you or explain you how I did it.
Much later.
See? But what I don't like is this isn't okay. It's on this side and on that side. Let me see if this one has it also. No, this bearing is nice and round, but this one is, it's like there has been grinded on there. There's clearly also some oil on there, but like I already mentioned, these things go to temperatures. There's also oil over here. Don't believe what I have to do over here. Look, drill it out. Oh God. Oh. Why? I got everything loose, but expensive. See, I'm not gonna get that out solid. I'm gonna try, of course, but I don't think it's going to work. These okay, these maybe, these will maybe succeed. But look at that screw. This is the screw from the bottom, and it's full of Loctite. Even the motor mount, the motor was very hard Loctite on there. Look, a lot of Loctite. They're going after armor over here, I think. Pinion was good on there, not too tight. It was normal Loctite. But this was, yeah, this is, I had to drill these things out. Yeah, I'm not that happy with these things. Look, there's a piece. There I have also a piece over here. This is not a RTR, if you know what I mean. Look, when something goes wrong, you have to do all these things to get the motor mount out, to get another pinion on there. That's not the way it's supposed to be. They dropped the ball on that one, in my opinion. Let's see if I can fix this thing, if I can get some thread in there, or else I have to buy another mount. Then it will be the Sketer mount, because that one is adjustable. Don't lose this one. There's also a little oil in there, but that's not bad. Now we have to loosen these two screws, or one maybe, and then you can take this one out. It's a 2mm. Normally there's thread lock on there, but you turn it off. Not so much Loctite on there. Luckily, something fell out. Where did that came from? Over here. No, nah, it's not going to work. We have to loosen this one too. Well, after emailing Team Corelli about this motor mount and everything, they were kind enough to send me all of these things. Also this. And I asked for a motor mount from the Sketer and they did it. They gave me one. I'm going to show you how I do that. But that's after this. I did some heat shrink tubing over this. I cut pieces from 10mm and I heated it up. This is heat shrink with glue. It's a little stronger than normal heat shrink. 9mm is okay. And I'm going to put it like that. You can see it's a little over the hole. I hope you can see this. Then you use this, keep it straight and turn it. Heat it up all the same. Like that. You can see it's all nicely closed over there. This is a nice fixture for this thing coming loose. They are the same as a synchro. Take your time adjusting these things. If they're too strong, all the force is going to go on the servo here and you're going to burn that one out. If they're too loose, yeah, your steering is all upset and that's not good. So take your time doing this. I always mount everything, put a battery in there, put it on, and then see how it steers. If it steers too tight, you can hear it on the servo, then you have to loosen these a little bit. You can also feel it. Here's a little play on there. Here is no play on there. So I think this one is a little too tight. It's a little snug. And it's a little looser now. So always do little adjustments. Now we have a little play. You cannot see it on the camera, but I can feel it in my hand here. So that's good. This is more play than over here, so we can tighten this a little bit. And always work with little adjustments. This is part of the hobby. Yeah, I think this is good, like that. You can see it sitting over here, the rubber. It's nicely, and it turns all good, so that's good. I always take this grub screw out. You see it's a little greasy, so I'm going to clean it and put a little drop of Loctite on there. See what grease that comes off there? When you put Loctite on there and it's greasy, it doesn't, the Loctite doesn't adhere very well. And the problem is, there are a lot of people that use Loctite and they put a drop on there and then it's too much. How do I do it? Loctite, and use a plastic bag. And then you put it on there. And this doesn't get hard. You can let it sit for 4 months. It stays like that, liquid. So that's nice. Now you can choose the amount you want. See, there's a little on there, not much. Otherwise, you get stripped screws. When you put these things in, turn them first out until you feel it. That's it. You heard that? That's the sound that it has to make, and then you know it sits good. Otherwise, you mess up the threads in this thing. First, turn them out 2 turns or 1 turn and a half, something. Then you hear a sound, tick, and then you know the thread is seated right to get it in there. If you start threading it in there like that, sometimes these threads don't come up and then you're crooked on this thing. Then you're messing up this the steering knuckle over here. You also need to adjust. Look at this, look. When you turn it, now this stops. But this is how you demolish your servo. Overreacting on the servo, you see? It stops turning here, but the servo can go further. That's how you have to set your EPAs. Your endpoints adjustments are very important. Well, in the beginning I showed you this, that there was some grinding on this thing here. I emailed Corelli about that too, and they were kind enough to send me 2 other bearings. I'm going to replace 1 bearing. This one isn't Dremeled on. Problem is that you have to dismantle everything to get that bearing out. And as you can see, it's a little wet on the outside. So we're going to check what's wrong here. I don't know yet what fluid is in there. I haven't checked the manual yet, so there is a gasket in there, so that's good. I just think that the screws weren't tight enough. Could be a little more in there. So this is what I mean with a plug, and there's a link in the description where to get them. That's the motor mount I'm going to use now. Let's see what we can arrange here. Put it in there like this. Put it in there like this. Now get this one underneath here. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I don't even see what I'm doing. Yeah, but that's the way it should go. Yeah. So you have to, yeah, that's it. See, if I turn this, if the wheels turn, yep, this turns. See, this turns and this turns, so that's good. Now I can mount these screws back on there. So you have to do this last. There's not a problem with this thing, with this motor mount. If you put this on there, and we're going to put it on there a little tight here so it sticks on there. You put it on there and you have to adjust it. It's hard to reach the other screw underneath there. And when you have to take this off, one is underneath the motor that you cannot tighten anymore. So that's a little stupid. This would be the first Punisher that runs on an 18 tooth. Is it good? I don't know. Is it going to overheat? I don't know. Oh yeah, I do have a 21. Damn, guys. But I think maybe it's gonna cog a lot when I'm mounting this 21 on there. Let me see if I have to watch out because it touches the screw, but I can put it a little further and look at the mesh. Completely to the left side on this, like this, and the mesh is sitting perfectly. This battery isn't charged, it's on storage. I have to watch out because, oh, man, this is going to be so fast. Should I run it? Droop settings. Yeah, I think it's pretty good, but I'm going to put it a little bit lower like this so that the drive shafts are a little more horizontal. There's a droop screw over here. Then you turn it in or out. It depends on how you look at it. And then you set it like this. And now you lift it up. You see? These stay a little more horizontal. Best you can do is measure everything. Measure the shock. You measure the shock over here from this point to this point and that point to that point. That has to be equal. So the droop settings are the same on each side. So now I'm waiting here for this to dry because I did some silicone on this and some drywall tape, and I did it not so long ago. So it has to dry a couple of hours, maybe 2 or 3 days to get it real hard. And then I can drive this thing, finally.